Welcome, I'll be reacting to Penny Dreadful, Season 1, Episode 4. This is a commentary, it is not a market substitute. Please support the original, and no spoilers in the comments. Remember that includes future actor and character appearances, locations, and of course the story. Oh, Dorian. Just don't go in the attic. I think that's where his portrait was, right? I haven't reread it in a while. I should do that if I'm watching the show, actually. Are we gonna get to see it? Where is it? Where's the portrait? Ah, oh, they're not gonna show us, are they? That wolf scene. Is he gonna become a werewolf? I feel like there's something there. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
You don't have a sweetie, do you?
Afraid not.
I have a bit of peppermint in my
This
dresser.
is cute.
But it's very old and I daren't.
Very sensible.
We put Mother under the ground. But I don't think she'll stay there.
What?
Where do they go?
Heaven, silly.
They had me going there. Lucy's an interesting character. I hope we see her again. Beautifully tailored jacket she has on right now. And that collar. I wonder how old he is at this point. 50? 100?
All I really seem to know about plants is how to kill them.
Same.
The berries are quite lethal. Whole thing, in fact.
I want some nightshade in my poison garden now. So beautiful in here.
Is it poisonous?
She's asking the right questions.
Like all beautiful things.
I love her.
Lividity, yes.
Did you push him into that hole, Mr. Hornblower? I'm so glad he's in this.
I didn't push him. You're mistaken.
No. Wasn't him. Too small. Give me a minute, I'll remember his name.
Sir.
You have steady hands. Oh, to be young again.
You have the steadiest hands I've ever seen, Professor Van Helsing.
I'm sorry, I was so excited just because of the actor, and now he's gonna play Van Helsing. I just need a moment to bask in the awesomeness. Yes. Yes. Dr. Frankenstein and Professor Van Helsing are in the same laboratory right now. I'm geeking out so hard.
Sir Malcolm is looking for a cure for something he doesn't understand.
Do you?
Intimately.
Oh, great. Caladan's here.
Must be beautiful. To match her mate.
Ooh, shots fired.
You'll be careful.
Oh, hell. Nothing I haven't seen before, darling.
Steady on, lad.
That was an intense transition.
We think the condition is based in the blood, so we'll start with transfusion.
That's not a good idea.
Why not?
Trust me.
That didn't sound like him not wanting to be a donor. That sounded like something with his blood. Which, again, ties into my he's a werewolf, potentially, or has the capacity to become one theory.
Those are boys, do you think?
Creatures? No.
Bodies dismembered.
Not blood drained. For all the bestiality, it's a fully human act, I think. Had there been more evidence of cannibalism, then
He
perhaps.
knows.
So he didn't consume the flesh, that's
Was it a full moon?
Taking a holiday, are we? That's jolly. Where?
He just wants an excuse to visit Egypt and research stuff. The apple? See if he can eat it.
I need blood, you fucking devil whore! Give me rats!
Oh, wow. Well, that didn't work. No, 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 no. Not the kitty. Oh no, everyone's gonna be here. These two. Dorian Gray will be here, I think. Kaladin's already here. And of course that helps my disturbing theory that he's going to see her and be like, that's my bride. And she's already dying. She's probably only done standing room only before. That's why she walked to the back. I've done that in the Opera House a few times when the tickets were too expensive. It's not bad, actually. Because you sit there usually until it starts, and then you're just standing for like an hour to watch it. And then usually in intermission, the ushers have been keeping an eye out for people who didn't come. And a lot of the time you can just go sit in places they indicate.
Let us murder the people tonight.
Oh, look at that smile. If only we could bring that side of him out more instead of the creepy one.
Unschooled in the ways of all things obscene.
Oh.
When raven crows and adder hisses, 'tis no time for
Where's
Cupid's
Dorian?
kisses.
Is he up in the box?
On nights so dreary, black and bleak, perforce of villainy must we speak.
A longing so deep and dark and rare.
Vanessa's here
that
too.
Only such as we can share.
I have to attend to some final details.
Like selecting your traveling companions.
Do you want to go?
From time to time, though, one would like to be thought of as capable.
I lost a son in Africa. He was much like you in a way. Mr. Chandler means nothing to me. He's a finger on a trigger. You are not.
Oh. Oh. Like, he needs to get out of town, but also that's just so heartwarming.
God's nowhere near, for the beast is here!
Oh, wow. Nicely done. Where's Professor Van Helsing? We got a Strigoi on the loose. We need Rose to get in here. Come on, you're Bond. If only theater concessions were really that fast, IRL.
Hello, I'm Dorian Gray.
Awkward.
Ethan Chandler. This is Miss Brona Croft.
Hello. Excuse me, I need some air.
Oh, Brona.
Excuse us. Brona, please.
You're fucking a skeleton every night, for Christ's sake. There's no goddamn future in it for either of us. From now on, after you've paid.
That was because she loves him, doesn't want to watch him deal with her dying.
I should warn you, this is not completely legal.
Not my first time.
Nothing you do is, Dorian. Nothing. So how many rats got it? I think he has PTSD from something. Absinthe? Straight? No sugar? Huh? Oh, good, they have sugar. I was like, I don't know if I can handle that. Alright. Good. Dorian scared me for a second.
Do you know absinthe?
Yes,
Never
I
had the
do.
pleasure. Then we shall toast your first taste.
I need to see his face when he tries it. I knew it. I like it in mixed drinks more than the way they just did it with the fountain.
There are times when I wish Mina had been born with your cruel spirit. You're the daughter I deserve.
Ouch.
Can art be honest?
Well, your portrait sure is.
This is the very end of the opera.
Nice
Zelda's
gramophone.
lover is dead before her.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of saw that coming a little bit. I would say this episode, although it did have pieces of various other stories, was basically Dorian Gray. It delved into how bored he is and willing to just try anything as a new experience. I still remember the part where he actually became a good person briefly, and he went to look at his portrait and it was like worse than ever, and he's like, hey, I've been being good lately. And it's like, no, you were just so bored of being kind of bad boy that you were virtuous just because it was like, oh, I haven't done this in a while. It's also very clear in the early drafts of the book that he's into anyone. He's pretty pan. And there are some characters, as I recall, who just are in love with him. And I think there's a line in the pre-censored version where one of them is like, I've never loved a woman. I've only loved you, Dorian. And he has this magnetic charm to him that obviously Ethan found irresistible. And then they were drinking a lot of absinthe. If you've had it, it's really intense. It's a very interesting flavor. But I wouldn't just sit there and drink it. It's really a sipping drink where you have a little bit and you just savor it for a while. You have a little bit and you savor it. But they were gulping it down and I'm like, how? How? His expression when he took his first absinthe experience was pretty funny. I knew it would be good, but the actor nailed it. I'm really worried about poor Brona right now. She tried to do the right thing to push him away because otherwise he'll just watch her slowly kind of just disintegrate. And that scene where she was shouting, you know, you're sleeping with a corpse, basically a skeleton. I'm dead. You know, there's no future. It was just heartrending. And then seeing Kaladin in his element here, smiling and running around and doing his job, it's like there's a part of him that's human. Dr. Frankenstein only sees him at his worst. We as an audience are seeing him from a more nuanced perspective. There's who he is at the theater, and then there's who he is with his creator. That was a really sweet moment, too, between Dr. Frankenstein and Sir Malcolm, who was like, I lost a son already to an expedition, and you remind me of him, and I'm not losing you too, and that's why you're not going. Because I basically see you as kind of like my son. To Victor, who's just had to deal with his creation calling him demon and all these other horrible names, to have Sir Malcolm say that, I think was really important and helpful to him. Because if you hear all negative from everyone in your life, I can speak from experience to say it's not a good place to deal with. You need to have a few people who can say some positive things, especially if you're prone to being negative about yourself. You know, they say don't depend on other people for praise, but if you have an ongoing negative outlook about yourself and have like that voice in your head constantly pointing out every time you make a mistake, every time you do something wrong, and kind of calling yourself names, you do need someone on the outside to be like, no, you're wrong. And up until now, Victor hasn't had that. He's just had this creature coming at him and is like, you're evil, you're terrible. You could see how much that was affecting him and how much he needed to hear something different. He's definitely my favorite character on the show so far. I'm really intrigued by all of them. Obviously, we had the big reveal of Van Helsing, which is super cool. Overall, I think it was really well done so far. An excellent adaptation of Dorian Gray as well. And I love how everything is weaving into each other.